Ever get the feeling that like everyone else is striking it rich in this AI gold rush?
Yeah.
With these custom GPTs and stuff. But then you look around and you're, I don't know, just panning for scraps of code.
It can feel that way, for
Huh?
sure. The barrier to entry is so high for a lot of folks.
It really can. But today we're diving into the mother lode, a real-world system that's already raking it in, which I'm excited about.
And we get to reverse engineer their success, see how the sausage is made, so to speak.
Exactly. The source material is pretty interesting, a technical article. It's actually part 2 of a series, which tells you something right there, that there's already a working system.
Definitely piques the curiosity.
Right. So this article, it outlines the architecture behind a custom GPT business. But I know what you're thinking. Technical article sounds a little scary.
A little dry, a little intimidating.
Exactly. But don't worry, that's where we come in. We're going to sift through all that jargon and extract those golden nuggets of business strategy that, even someone who isn't exactly a tech whiz can appreciate.
Because at the end of the day, it's not about building the coolest tech. It's about building a successful business around it. And that's where things get really interesting.
Right on. So this article throws around a few names you might recognize, maybe some you don't. Zuplo, Stripe, Clerk, Cloudflare. And you can think of these as the all-star team behind this whole AI operation.
A carefully assembled team, I might add, which speaks to the strategic thinking behind this whole system.
Definitely. And if I had to pick an MVP on this all-star team, it'd be Zuplo. The heart and soul of the operation. The maestro of monetization, you could say.
That's a bold claim. Tell me more about what makes Zuplo so special in all of this.
So according to the article, Zuplo is kind of like that gatekeeper between users like you and me and the custom GPT, like the digital bouncer. Checks your API key at the door, which is basically your ticket to enter this very exclusive AI club.
Ah, so access control. Interesting how they've taken that real-world concept and translated it to the digital space, and Zuplo handles all of that.
You bet. It's like the bouncer, but it's also the cashier. Zuplo implements those pay-per-use or subscription models, which is, let's be honest, the lifeblood of any business.
So not only does it decide who gets in, but also how they're going to pay for the privilege. That's pretty smart.
It's like having this business partner who never sleeps and is just obsessed with optimizing your revenue. What more could you ask for?
And probably a nightmare for the competition.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But this is where Zuplo's brilliance really shines, I think. It understands that even the most exclusive club, you've got to manage capacity. Think about those infamous websites crashing during Black Friday sales.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Zuplo prevents with something called rate limiting.
It's like, that velvet rope you see outside a popular club. Right?
Exactly. Got to keep things running smoothly.
Exactly. Make sure everyone who gets in has a good time, doesn't get too crowded.
Totally. But there's this other detail that really caught my eye in this article, this whole idea of shrinking the OpenAPI specification file.
Okay, yeah. Now that's where things get really elegant.
I know, right? And I know it sounds incredibly technical. But really, when you get down to it, it's all about efficiency.
Which I know is something you're a big fan of.
Big time. And think about it like this. Imagine you're trying to explain something kind of complex to someone. Do you want to wade through like a super dense textbook, or do you want to just get the gist from a really concise, well-structured article?
Give me that article every day of the week, especially if, I'm short on time.
Exactly. Time is money, right?
Yeah.
And when it comes to AI, that's especially true. The smaller, the more focused that information is, the faster the AI can process it. That's where those tokens come in.
Right. The lifeblood of AI processing, those tokens.
Exactly. So you can think of tokens kind of like pieces of a puzzle, right?
Okay.
And the AI has to put them all together. So by streamlining the instructions, shrinking that specification file, it's basically like they're giving the AI fewer puzzle pieces.
Okay.
But they're more important puzzle pieces.
So it's almost like giving a detective just the critical clues instead of overwhelming them with every single little detail of a case.
Exactly. They've cut through all the noise, and that allows the AI to just focus on what really matters.
Yeah, it's a delicate dance, though, because if you remove too much information, then the AI might miss some crucial context.
Oh, for sure.
It's all about finding that sweet spot between efficiency and effectiveness.
So it's not just about making the AI faster. It's about making it smarter by giving it the right amount of information.
Exactly.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, and it's a good illustration of how optimization isn't just about, doing things faster. It's about doing the right things more efficiently. And that's a principle that extends way beyond just this technical realm, right? Think about your own work. How much time could you save if you streamlined your processes and you focused on just the most impactful tasks?
Probably a lot, now that I think about it. But let's bring it back to this AI business model. So we talked about Zuplo's role in access control, monetization, even optimizing the AI's performance. What's the overarching kind of takeaway here?
Well, I think what's really fascinating is this multi-layered approach. Because it's not enough to just have like the most cutting edge GPT, right? You need a robust ecosystem to support it. It's
Right.
like building a skyscraper, right? You need that strong foundation, reliable utilities, efficient systems to make sure everything runs smoothly.
It's all connected.
Exactly. And each element plays this crucial role in the overall success of the whole thing. And take, for example, those Zuplo subscription features we were talking about.
Subscriptions, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like the holy grail of business models these days.
Absolutely. Subscriptions, they offer this predictable revenue stream. So instead of always chasing those one-off sales, you're cultivating this loyal customer base, which then allows for much better forecasting, more strategic investment and growth.
Yeah, it's like the difference between, renting an apartment and owning the whole building. Like that steady income from subscriptions, that really changes the game.
It does. And it's not even just about the money, right? Subscriptions, they kind of foster this deeper relationship with your users.
Right.
Because now they're invested in your platform, which in turn opens up all kinds of opportunities for feedback, for collaboration, in long-term growth.
Yeah, everybody wins.
Yeah.
But you know what's really cool about all this? This architecture that they've designed, it's for a very specific GPT-powered application. But it's adaptable to other things too, which I think is pretty amazing.
It is. And that's a key insight I think a lot of people miss when they get really caught up in these technical details.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they've built this system for managing access, for optimizing performance, for monetizing this AI. But the cool thing is it's not limited to just this one application.
Exactly.
Like imagine using the same setup to power AI-driven translation services.
Oh, wow.
Or personalized education platform.
Okay.
Or even AI-powered tools specifically for creative professionals.
Yeah, the possibilities are pretty much endless.
They really are.
It's amazing.
This deep dive, I think, it's given us a really fascinating look under the hood of a successful AI business. We've seen how the gears mesh, how each component plays a part in this big picture, almost like we took this really complex machine apart and put it back together again.
We did.
And now we kind of understand how it works, which is really exciting.
It is. And just like with that machine, you're right. The possibilities really are limited only by our imagination at this point. Like we've unpacked the technical nuts and bolts. We explored the why, those strategic choices that drive success in business.
Absolutely.
But now the big question is what now? What are you going to build with all of these insights? I mean, that's the beauty of this whole deep dive. Right? Yeah. It's not just about understanding someone else's success. It's about empowering you to go out there and create your own.
Exactly.
So to our listeners out there, consider this a call to action. This whole AI revolution, it's here, it's now, and it's full of opportunities. Take everything you learned with us today and go build something incredible.